majors this season. In this tournament, EG have been incredibly dominant. Sumail and Arteezy, 2 of only 3 players averaging a kill every 4 minutes or less. GH and Crit are the only 2 averaging an assist every 2 minutes or less. VP is going with the Ramses Necrophos. He is 7-0, undefeated in his pro career on the hero. But Sumail, the legendary Storm Spirit, 29-13 in his pro career, including 8-2 with 10.6 kills per game on the main stage at TI. Will VP make it Black Thursday for the NA Dota crew, or will the boys in blue keep hope alive? Give it up for the #1 DPC casting duo, Odie Pixel and Thor.
Thank you very much, Nahas. Ladies and gentlemen, EG versus VP. I'm Odie Pixel, I'm here with Fog. We've seen the 2 drafts. Fog, what are we looking at this? EG going fully in on winning the lanes, because their lineup as a whole, it lacks disable.
It has pretty much no disable. Yeah, I think this last pick Pugna is, I wouldn't call it fully this, but
we look at the side of VP. There's a lot of disable zone.
There is. They've got this tiny. They managed to get it through pretty late in the draft as well. Certainly one to worry about. As we'll see, can EG do it here with the Drow Ranger?
I see this, Pasha. Cool down, sorry.
Yeah, so that's, I'm sure some more tips will certainly come through for Sumail later.
So right off the bat, we see EG did go for a level 1 smoke, just to get some wards down and make sure that they can block, in particular, this top camp. This is something that we've seen people do in the past when Elder Titan was a lot more prominent, is you make sure that you can't actually pull the side and stack it up so you can't use that Astral Spirit with the creeps so you get all that damage, and also the Mirana, so you can't arrow those creeps constantly. And they're going to try to dodge this. The purpose of the warding early on is so that they can make sure that the Chen can avoid, in particular, that Mirana. But VP have 2 situations and 2 things that they prepared for that Chen, with that Crystal Maiden as well as the Mirana, to take out the creep early on.
It'll be interesting to see what we do see from the Crit Chen, because as sort of you were looking at before, not really something that we're used to seeing that much from EG.
Yeah, so I was taking a glance at the last, like almost month and a half or so of EG's games. They've had Chen banned versus them a couple times, but they haven't really run it so much in officials. I believe it was only once at the Summit when they paired it with the Phoenix as the 2 supports, which they dominated that game very quickly. But we don't, you know, there's definitely a lot of occasions where they have played it. It was also Crit playing it in that occasion. So they are very comfortable with the hero.
See how Onartor can do in this top lane. Had a bit of a tough time in some of the games the other day. We'll see how he's able to step it up here, as he'll be backed up by Fly, as expected in this dual lane top. And up against Roger and Pasha.
I want to see how this mid matchup is going to be going. That's particularly where I'm going to be looking.
How's it expected to go? You expect the Tiny to sort of have the edge at the start, or does the Storm sort of counteract it out with the way he can push the lane out with the Remnants?
I think they can both farm. I think the Tiny has bigger kill threat. It just depends on the Chen movements that's going to be coming out. As we see, Crit's already in position. He was looking at first for a career snipe. So we know that they're very adamant about the laning phase. When we look at their draft, we look at VPs, their team fight in the mid game is absurdly strong.
Very impressive seeing us there indeed. Started off as these are the big boys to watch. Sumail versus No One.
Yeah, I wonder if there's going to be a difference, because Sumail does have the Drow aura, but No One also will be having some CM aura as it starts pushing off, so maybe that could be a bit of a difference maker inside the laning phase.
So we see how those do as well on the side lanes. We saw also yesterday S4 in some sort of lane situations where it felt like he should have maybe been able to do more with the lane than he actually did end up doing in that matchup the other day. We'll see this time around if between him and Crit
Centaur
can really keep the pressure on. They do have that control onto Ramses. Ramses has got another death pulse. The right click's coming in as Ramses hides the tree. The Ghost Shroud there, just in time to keep him safe from the last right click that would have pushed him over the edge as Ramses is ready to sail back up.
He just hit level 2 off the creep that died while they were diving him, so he just was able to use and level up that ability to save himself. But S4 is going to get a good amount down here. They actually can't put pressure onto this Pugna with the CM Necrophos. Not really the strongest lane versus this ranged hero, which is distance.
That's mid lane, No One.
Mel pulling a little bit ahead.
What is Arcane Rune up top that he can grab? As I believe it's up with that courier. It's going a bit of an adventurous route. But we'll be able to get him out of the bottle, so No One able to regen himself. But before he grabs the rune, so he's going to be in a pretty good place to, as you say, look towards that point where he's got that kill potential. He's level 3, he's got the point in all skills. Sumail's got to be a little bit careful now, as no one can certainly be expected to play that little bit more aggressive.
Yeah, we've seen this so much at this tournament. Just that level 3 Tiny, you can really pose a threat, but Sumail's doing a good job of pushing him away, forcing the wave in constantly too.
Oh, sweet.
But I think it's really important for EG that S4 is having just this amazing time down bottom. Just full free farm, very good experience as well coming to. This Pugna is the best answer that they have versus Ramses on this Necrophos. One of the harder counters, actually, to that hero.
Yeah, certainly so far so good in terms for EG, what they wanted to achieve in terms of turning up the lanes and making sure that all 3 cores are able to farm.
Yeah, this top lane's actually not putting it that much pressure on because of these dual ranged heroes coming out from EG. Roger has been pulling the side and trying to stack up the creeps as much as possible to use that Astral Spirit, but Silencer being that strong laner.
Playing no one. Getting aggressive as we saw there with the Arcane Rune. Sumail's able to reach it up bottom lane. They have managed to find the CM. Solo goes straight for the TP out. Can they get the stun off? They can. Crit able to bring the creep in time to set up for first blood for S4.
Just what they need. Enable that Pugna so he can put the pressure on. He's going to try to push down those towers, get them that map control advantage early on, and it's just that distraction, right? Like, he's going to keep people down here focused on him while Sumail is able to be okay in that mid lane.
Look at his top lane, yeah. The Frost Arrows slowing Roger down. He's up to the high ground though and can get himself just out of range of continuously slowed by the Drow Ranger.
So Sumail needed this rune pretty badly down bottom, committed for it, and does actually get the DD. No one was starting to be able to pull him out of the lane for a moment.
Top lane, they're able to get on top of Fly there. Pasha hits the arrow by the looks of it.
They got the stop combo.
And now one more. VP getting themselves on the board. Bottom lane crit looking with the wraparound. He's got the Troll Summoner and the Hellbear Smasher. S4 with the huge damage, bringing Ramses down low. He's got the Ghost Shroud and the Death Pulse. Is it going to be enough to save him? Pops the stick charges, but there's the control. Crit with the root, holds down Ramses with the right clicks as well. One more will do it. The Death Pulse will not keep Ramses alive.
Meanwhile, top also.
Let's see if they can find the kill.
Roger does die, going for the dive.
Roger playing a little too over-aggressive on that top lane. Lose 2 heroes there, VP. One up top, one down bottom.
Always got to be careful of this Chen. That's the purpose that the panel was saying it. How important this laning phase is for EG. They're going to try to apply as much pressure that they can so that the mid game is just that much better for them. This heavy team lineup.
5-minute runes to spawn. Crit did start to have a bit of a look towards it, but Solo and Ramses are there. Quickly burst him down, get him away from that bouncy rune spot.
Solo got the bounty too. Have the 2 for 2.
But definitely the biggest worry at the moment for EG is going to be the item timings on No One's Tiny. Because you look at EG's lineup, as soon as there's sort of a big dagger on No One, he can pretty much burst any of these heroes on EG's lineup. They're all very squishy.
Yeah, the purpose though of EG's lineup is they're going to try to group up with a bunch of them, right? And they're going to be trying to use that global to back them up. We'll probably see the itemization come out to make sure that they can't get comboed either. Either some early stat items, some raindrops, just to deal with that Tiny who's going to have high levels in that mid lane. But a lot of pressure coming out bottom. 5-minute, we've had that catapult wave, S4 and Crit, really trying to put as much tower siege as they can.
Still at this moment, no core on the map really falling behind. All 3 cores on both sides, finding farm in their respective lanes. It's very close in these first 6 minutes. So just the difference being EG getting away with more pressure on this bottom lane. That tier 1 tower in a lot of trouble at just 6 minutes in. That is a very early tower indeed, S4.
Already level 5. He's going to have such an early level 6. Ramses has got to be careful once that starts to come out. Easy threatened kills on that Necrophos with Pugna. And Sumail is now level 6, picks up a raindrop as well, and it's 1 so he can survive the combos. He'll be pretty safe now in that mid.
It's Crit dropping a ward down, so they're pretty deep on that. Won't quite be able to get to it. They do look towards Ramses. So they can do it. They don't have control. They've got a good amount of burst with the Satire and Tormentor, but Solo's there with the backup. Slows down the 2 of them. Ramses pops the Ghost Shroud and the quick heal. It will be fine. As Crit, as I say, this time around didn't have any sort of control in his army.
TZ's full free farming up top. 38 and 18. Gonna hit that level 6 very early on to enable his cores. Even more so.
They've got that expected edge on all three lanes, as they should do with this draft, EG. They have that lead, 2k advantage at 7 minutes in. So far, the draft certainly sort of hitting those timings, making sure that all three lanes, the farm is just that little bit better than the opponents.
Roger's got to be a little bit careful how aggressive he plays versus this Storm, because with that level 3 Overload and Drow Aura, you're hitting extremely hard in this early game. And you can kind of play around the disables. You know, we did talk about how VP, they have a lot of disables, but some of them can be pretty inconsistent versus a Storm Spirit unless there's an initial setup from either an Avalanche or a Frostbite. Or I guess a Reaper side. But the other ones, it's like an Arrow, a Stomp. These can be a little bit tougher to actually land onto a Storm as. See VP?
Whoa.
They want to try to punish down here.
They do have crit, caught out by the Astral Stomp. Solo, moving in close, does still have that Frostbite ready to go. Looking for a bit of body blocks though to buy time for Ramses to come in and help with the kill attempt. Sumail's going to be there with the backup. They do lose crit, but now Sumail with the counterplay fights Solo. S4 with the life drain forces Ramses to back up. Still some mana in the tank for Sumail as he's playing around with Roger. Roger has the stop, but Sumail keeps his distance. Flies coming from the side with the arcane curse as Roger will fall as well. EG get to an S4 with the Decrepify out the south, is able to walk his way back to safety. No one couldn't find a kill in return. Nice play here from EG, good reactions. They're bringing Fly down Sumail with that will to join the fight and make sure that EG came out on top.
Bringing so many numbers to TP mid, crit fills the bottle. Oh, actually does not fill the bottle in time, just sends him home though.
So the TP ready to come straight back to lane. Sumail after regenerating all of his mana pulled back in the fountain.
Such a smart move though with EG. They're putting this pressure, they're focusing on bottom, just peeling away from the Drow Ranger. Arteezy's just allowed to stay up here and absolutely free farm during all of this. As VP, they are getting slowed down. The Mirana falling behind as EG claims top 3 net worth on all of their cores at this 9-minute mark.
I'm going to use the Moonlight Shadow here. Looks like top lane is where they're going to try and make a play happen. That ward was down, so EG well aware. You can see already Arteezy right back in the trees behind that tier 1 town, making sure not to get caught out by any surprise movement.
Very prepared for it.
Still leading the top of the net worth, Arteezy. He's certainly turning up today and as strong as ever style in terms of securing that lane, playing the lane perfectly.
Already a 2k advantage for them. 10 minutes. Very good start from already getting a tower as well when they've got this Drow lineup. We have the 10-minute rune spawning. We see EG already setting up to go for those since they've done very well in this laning phase. Sumail with the bottle. He's not really in position to claim any of these. They're starting to make their way down bottom with the smoke, but crit with the creeps.
Oh, S4. We'll do this for a blast onto Ramses. You're going to see Solo slow the 2 of them down. No one with the wraparound.
Roger top.
Does find the avalanche onto Crit. Pasha gets the arrow onto Fly. Crit get taken out by the tree throw. They've got Fly as well. Caught out by the stun. They pick themselves up 2 VP.
They don't get themselves the bounties, but they get themselves some kills to punch back.
Arteezy, as you said, finding that kill at the same time up top onto Roger.
Yeah, Sumail and him went for the both bounty runes. Roger just inches forward, but what you mentioned earlier, that high ground ward watches when he moves in.
Still with that advantage here, EG. Lanes just going slightly better in their way. All 3 cores, the top 3 of the net worth at the moment.
They're just keeping all the lanes pushed in. See, Arteezy is spamming the aura. He's also just auto-attacking the wave. Same thing with S4. They just want to keep this pressure on.
It's Ramses. Get affected here by the curse.
Sumail's
probably got in the global silence they have. Fly uses the global to allow Sumail to get the kill without any worries, but now there is turnaround potential. He's pretty low on mana, Sumail. He's got that last little bit to jump himself away. No one. Look for the connection, finds the avalanche toss onto Fly. They'll get the silencer, but Sumail will stay safe for now. There's another trade that EG they'll take. Taking a core, losing a support.
Just sticking as a unit and not slowing down. Another smoke coming out. They want to keep punishing, but VP is still here. Crit. Looking to be in trouble.
Has the combo onto 1. We'll find Crit. S4 still keeping that pressure on down bottom.
Arteezy soaking the space as well as he walks mid, starting to hit that tower. He's actually got his full Dragon Lance already finished up on this Drow Ranger, so early stat items like we were mentioning versus that tiny. Always wanting to tank up as much as possible.
VP desperate to get that Blink Dagger on that one, which he does nearly have. He's on about 1900 gold towards it. He's got 2k in fact. He's very, very close to having this Blink Dagger. And with this, we're sort of going to see these sort of situations where if EG don't really have sort of 4 or 5, VP are going to be able to get away with no one just jumping in, kicking off the fight, tossing someone back, separating them, or instantly just deleting one of the members of EG in these movements. VP with the Moonlight Shadow, looking to potentially set up on the bottom lane and catch S4 off guard.
This one looks like it's going to be
They've
successful.
got the wraparound, they're on top of him. S4 starting to back off, but Roger and Solo are hot in the case as well as they'll root him up and beat him down with the Reaper's Scythe. S4 gone for 47 seconds at the same time mid. No one gets the kill on Blood.
Ooh, actually without the Blink Dagger too, just able to get the distance and get the tree toss afterwards to finish off that silencer. Striking back a bit here as they chunk down that net worth lead as well as that experience quite a bit. These kills mean a lot for them in this early game because they were at a decent net worth disadvantage for their supports. Now they've been ticked up to level 6 on both of them.
And this really is where they do have the potential to really kick things back into gear in favor of themselves with this Blink Dagger. No one can start to find the pickoffs and catch EG's members sort of off guard, maybe even finding RTZ farming alone. But at the moment, RTZ does have backup by his side. We'll see who no one's able to get on top of with this Blink Dagger. So EG have to be careful. They will see that it's on him as he reveals himself mid. So they know that it's there. They know it. They know they have to prepare for no one looking for these pick-off plays.
About to say, this is group up time for EG. They don't want to get picked off, but they don't want to fight into all 5 of VP's heroes yet either. Like we were mentioning, the panel was mentioning as well, VP's teamfight is extremely threatening, but these Chen creeps can pose a bit of a problem when they are standing in that front line, even if there are those arrows and frostbites and whatnot. EG's in a good position for the wraparound.
Samel does find Pasha. 2 leaps have already been used, but that's going to be the curse kicks in as Pasha will get taken down. Samel finds the Mirana, zips himself back out and away. As the TPs do come in from VP, no one with the jump. Finds the 2-man avalanche. It's not enough damage though. The global silence comes out. The right clicks RTZ with the silence. The slow, they'll get the kill on no one. Samel grabs the double kill. No hesitation here from EG. They're playing this pace that we've seen from them time and time before when they have this Drow Ranger strat. 14 minutes in, really getting the ball rolling. Now Ramses, he's silenced, he's penitence. The damage from the glaives, it's enough. Ramses taken down. The Earth Splitter's coming out from Roger, straight on top of RTZ, but there's no other follow-up from VP. As Roger has to back off Samel with the big zip, looking to close the gap, but he doesn't quite find the connection. He'll retreat for now, but EG 10-9, 4K lead.
It was very smart that they, as soon as they knew that no one had that Blink Dagger, just group up. Don't let this Tiny do what he wants to do. Blink Tiny just wants to go around getting those pickoffs, but if you're grouped up, it makes it a lot more difficult for him to do so.
Oh, no one jumps in there into the back of the gets pretty much a 3-man avalanche. They have the stop as well, and the CMO is going to get cancelled straight away. Samel on top of Solo finds the Crystal Main, and no one looks towards Chris. Tree throw finishes off the kill. They lose fly 2 as VP have found 2. RTZ trying to get the right arrow. No, the Pash is in with the start with the burst red 4. Takes down Basher in time. No one's back in with the avalanche. They found 3 VP. Can they get us for Samel? Samel still with a little bit of mana left. That final bit of burst from S4 will kill off Roger. As S4 and Samel Survivor. 2 heroes on both sides living through that. Both No One and Ramses are the ones staying alive there, and obviously being an even trade, the fact that VP were behind, they will come out slightly on top there of that gold exchange.
No One put in so much work in that team fight there. Just able to jump in, get the jump out, able to disengage and jump in again afterwards to get 2 full combos on several heroes. Very significant for them to be able to do that, as well as with that stomp follow-up catching on 2.
Good job from Samel, they're getting straight on top of Solo. If he got away with that ult, flying crit would have fallen a lot quicker. Nonetheless, they do still die as Pasha comes in with that cleanup. And Samel just not quite enough mana to come back in and help out RTZ and S4 in time.
We're seeing the importance of the levels and the advantage that the Pugna got in the laning phase, what that this hero can actually do and threaten versus VP. Just sitting in that back lines, the amount of damage that S4 can dish out is ridiculous, and now also has a Veil of Discord on top.
Dire's top tower.
So they've gotten their tier 1s on the side of EG. The next biggest goal for them, since they have that Drow and that Chen, they want to be able to ideally go for the Roche pretty soon.
Strong start from EG, no surprise here.
They have a regen rune being used, and Sumel, they find a DD outside of it.
I guess Samel as well with the sort of confidence and knowing they can get away with having a good Storm game. Only sort of what the real big one being the blink jump from No One that's going to be the most likely to catch him out. He's going to go straight for the Bloodstone after the Kaya.
He's keeping the regen going too and has the DD in the bottle.
It's under attack.
Here we go. Regen still going, they'll use the global. He sets up straight away onto Roger, has the pullback. They have the burst, the slow, the damage to bring down Roger. They'll get the kill.
They just wanted, that was why they smoked. They smoked, they want to get a pickup so they can transition into a Roche, and they find the ET. That's one of their most important targets. Do they actually back up forward, or do they try to commit for the tier 2 though?
They can do it pretty quickly.
They are going to go to the Roche. So DD on Sumel, they've got their medallion as well on crit with that penitence. They can kill it very fast.
Yeah, all lanes as well, pushed over to sort of VP's half of the map. So, okay, they need to cripify and then back away.
The ET is spawning a bit too fast.
It is quickly.
That's too threatening to commit forward as CG's lineup. Like in that area versus Elder Titan, that's where ET is just the strongest. And they also used their global silence earlier from Fly, going for those. Being a little bit safer.
Just keeping their eyes on it, Roger. Sending the Spirit, making sure that EG weren't going for that Roshan. As VP starting to group up as 3 on that top lane, ready themselves to try and take a tier 1 tower. Still yet to take one away from EG.
They need to get some type of map control going their way, but they have to be careful when they set up for these type of moves. They were showing the tiny under the ward in their jungle, so EG is aware that there's 3 or 4 heroes. Now they see Roger, so they know that there's only 3 for the time being.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Full Shadow Blade now complete on RTZ, so he'll feel a lot safer ducking and diving in and out of the team fights. Level 13 as well, and still top of the net worth with this Drow Ranger. Very different story to the Gyro game that we saw the other day. XEZ having a solid start to this series.
VP's at least able to claim themselves a tower. Very important for them to at least get one going, so they can get some deeper vision down to watch EG's moves.
Tower is under attack.
The smoke from VP. Looking to find that catch with no one. It's Blink Dagger.
They got it close to RTZ for a second.
He would be a juicy one to find. S4 as well would be a nice core to grab.
Now they see him again there. That ward.
He's out with the TP. They can't get there in time to close it out. So RTZ senses something's up and he's out of there. VP don't get the catch. All of VP sort of much off the map. Only I believe Ramses was showing. EG,
they're trying
no surprises, they knew something was happening.
EG's trying to get deep vision. They're trying to prepare for that Roche continuously here.
VP's not going to come in mid, EG.
They actually have to cancel one.
Yeah, they were set up on the high ground and VP were a little scared about TPing into that tower just in case they did get jumped from up there.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
There's no one very close to the completed Shadow Blade on top of his Blink Dagger, so we're allowed to sort of sneak around a little bit better around the map to find those sort of initiations that VP are relying on to start the fight.
The high ground here.
They do. RTZ leading with the Shadow Blade, gets the vision. There's the global silence straight away. Sumail on top of Ramses. Ramses, he's gone. They find the Necrophos to start the fight. If there is going to be more than one, but it looks like with the Moonlight Shadow, VP will just keep that distance, and now EG, they'll look to try again. Necrophos gone for 35 seconds. They head into the pit. VP can still try and disrupt it. They've still got that set up with the Elder Titan.
They're going to try to take the fight on the side of EG. Every time VP steps up, just poke them with some spells.
So EG is still very tentative around that pit. They're yet to really fully commit to Roche. They know that they do need to find, ideally, at least a second kill before they go in. Or at least make sure that VP is very scared about coming anywhere near us. They keep sort of ducking and diving back in there into the pit now. But EG's, I mean, VP's going to have the full lineup back up right now.
The Spirit is very threatening.
They can't do this quick enough. You can ready for the EG. They desperately want this Roche, but they have to find more than just a one-man pick-off before they go to the pit. They can't do it with just one hero off the map. There's just still too much pressure from the VP's other 4 members as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, the Elder Titan, just the ET around the pit is just too scary. And they used Global again in that last situation too, so just playing a little bit careful, going back, collecting some bounties. Even though they have, you can see how adamant they are though about how important that Roche is. Sure. These 3 wards they've committed on the left side of the map of VP, just all scouting any type of approach that VP can go from there.
RTZ, he is deep and farming away, does have the Shadow Blade. They don't have detection on no one, but Roger does. He comes in, pops the dust, they find RTZ who tries for the TP out, but he's not making it away. As RTZ farming Ancients away from his teammate and dying. It's quite an iconic duo, we've seen a few times. The ward dropped down, so he's certainly not going to get away with it again. He's got to be careful like that. As now, without their Drow Ranger, VP, they are ready to put the pressure on. They know EG is lacking a bit in that right click with that aura gone for 30 seconds. They'll be able to take this tier 1 tower mid. And already on the high ground, seeing if they can set up for more if EG dare come forward to try and defend.
Nice little punchback by VP there. Finding RTZ in that spot, like you said, we see it happen in those Ancients. Yeah, we do see it happen quite a bit. As VP understand how important this area really is. The scheme of this game right now. The Global's back online for EG. They're going to look to play very aggressive again with this, as they can always just jump forward and go for that Necro kill. They desperately need a Lotus Orb or Euls on Ramses, as he's got the plate mail now, so he's going to be going for that Lotus. At least being able to protect himself a bit versus that Global to get that close shroud.
is under attack.
And just to point out small things, Solo did go for a 1-4-4 build, or 1-4-3 build on the CM, prioritizing the bite, of course, since he's versus that Storm Spirit at bottom. Ramsey's alone.
Straight in. They've got a lot of magical bursts. Sumail zips in as well. He gets the Ghost Shroud out, but it ain't going to help him against the Remnants. They get the kill on Ramsey. They take the tier 2 tower, EG. Getting themselves back together as a unit.
They're going to
push down bottom.
Yeah, they've got the Aether Lens on the Pugna for a bit now, so he can look to poke this as RTZ. He's just going to jungle in the moment. So his team is only S4.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
They have still got good high ground ways of sort of slowing this down, as we're constantly seeing Roger with this Spirit.
Maybe they run for the Roche now, right? We see this so much, is where the team pokes the high ground, forces reaction back and goes for a different play. But it's so scary to fight around that Roche. It is too scary.
Necro's back up in 10 seconds. EG seems I don't know, just a little bit all over the place there in that sense. They keep sort of getting a kill, and then it very much seems like EG going, well, what do we do now?
Yep, back up and farm. They got a little bit, they got 300 damage on the tier 3 down bottom. But yeah, they know that they need this, how important this Roshan is for a draw lineup, especially versus all this burst on the side of VP and all that overwhelming team fight, as we keep mentioning. You know, now, they are grouped up. They will top off S4 and also pick up the pipe. This is going to negate a lot of the damage that VP does have, as it is majorly magic damage still.
It's a big one to grab as VP, sitting around that pit. EG have to find the kills before going in. Impossible to do at the moment with the full 5-man. From VP ready to retaliate.
They're still out farming them though, so
they are.
They're getting more control of the map overall, and VP's kind of being forced to stick together a lot. You see them running around as 3 all the time, while EG, they are splitting up just a tiny bit more across their heroes. They do pick up the Bloodstone now.
He's got it done.
I like the Bloodstone also because he's versus the Necrophos. I think it's just one of the better pickups, so if you do get Reaper Sight, you're not dead as long, on top of it being a great game if you're trying to be that greedy Storm Spirit. See VP still all huddled together.
What's the next move? As you said, at the moment they can be happy with this sort of pace. They are ahead.
They're getting a lot more out of the map in both experience and gold. They're a bit more split up, but they have to be careful when they are split up like this to get picked off. Tiny. And the lungs it forward.
Somehow. Straight in. Onto Solo with the Vortex. No one's going to be in there with the counterplay. They've lost Solo. Global Silence popped as well by a fly to make sure the Sumail can zip back out. So get a Bloodstone charge and get back out to safety.
That could have been scary for a moment at least. Ramses did have the Lotus Orb to remove it off himself, but they didn't quite get the Reaper Sight that Sumail will zip out and claim that Bloodstone. Global is down now.
Again, just a CM kill is not enough for sort of the chance to go to Roshan. To get something else, EG.
They're keeping the lanes pushed in though constantly. They're not using precision aura all the time though. RTZ is holding on to it as he is going for a BKB next versus, as we said, all that magic damage on VP.
Basher 1700 towards the ultimate orb as he's working on his Manta style to help him against the global.
EG's just constantly pushing all the waves into them, so it makes it a lot harder when you have all your waves pushed in. If you're looking to set up for any type of ganks with something like a Tiny or with something like a Moonlight Shadow, it makes it a bit more obvious if your lanes are all going on your side. So now we do see Precision Aura used, and we also saw Crit constantly split pushing with this.
Look at this time, Moonlight Shadow gang's going to catch S4 off guard. They're immediately on top of the Pugna, and he's gone for 80 seconds.
Gives them a lot of time now to push out these lanes. They do have to be careful of that Storm Spirit though, getting the pickoffs when they do get the lanes out of their side. But they are pretty trapped on their side. It's every single one pushing in.
Well, Echo Saber done on no one.
Actually looking for play. No one's just going in here. Pasha's dealing a little bit more with pushing out this lane, but bottom lane is heavily pushed, top as well. He should have a good read on this one.
Radiant's top tower is under
Looks like no one's going to turn away from that attempt for now. Full BKB on RTZ, so he can be prepared for those jump-ins, and it looks like he does want to continue to build very defensively this game. BKB and queuing up the Lincoln Sphere next already to help him against that Reaper's side.
He can help his teammates too. Throwing it on the Storm Spirit really lets Sumail go crazy in the fights. Sumail still has just the Shiva's Guard. I was wondering if he might actually go for either the BKB or himself versus all that magic combo that could come out from BP. As that kill that they got on the Pugna, it does slow down that momentum from EG a little bit as trickle themselves
Ramses.
a little bit of network.
In from the low ground, Fly left behind here. They've got the wall down, they've got eyes on Fly. Fly will try and set up the curse, but the leap forward from Pasha with that attack speed should pretty much be enough to bring Fly down. As Fly will try and run, no escape though. Pasha cleans up the kill. Again, EG just having to back up and continue to farm and keep that net worth advantage, as we say. There's no one. Gonna hunt again, checks Roche just in case.
They get themselves some decent item pickups here. Ramses has a Blink Dagger of his own to be able to jump in the fight, be able to get some type of lockdown. Pasha now has a Manta, so he can actually do something. If the global does come out, he can pop that Manta and throw out his spells.
Ramses ready to fight, 5 seconds. Reaper Size back there. Moonlight Shadow used immediately in order to try and set something up with this Reapers. Sumail up top, quickly cleaning out the top lane, pushing that wave in, or TPing back to base in preparation for some sort of a play like the one that VP's looking for here. As EG, they're on the high ground.
They use the Precision Aura too to push out the waves.
Sumail's going to show himself. No one tries to go for the avalanche. Global comes out, but immediately blink out from Tiny is there. Sumail zips forward. He's got himself on top of Solo, looking for the quick and easy Bloodstone charge, and he'll get it. Solo taken down. Sumail zipping forward for more, but no one's back under the cover of the Invit. He can walk himself away. Arteezy maybe seeing if he can find the catch onto someone. There's no one. Comes back across. They don't see each other though, neither, with detection on one another. No sentries around this area as well, but now the Invis will wear out. Arteezy looks towards no one, starts to hit away. Sumail zips across, and Arteezy there, able to sort of predict where the Tiny would be, following sort of the movements, even though he could not see him under the Shadow Blade, and it sets up a big kill for Sumail to get involved in.
As far as Sumail looks, they want to go for the Roche. Arteezy wants to try to keep pressure in the lanes and go for a tower at the same time here. So he used the Precision Aura before to push, but now they will back up. They will be going for that Roche with all of those.
And this is pretty much the best shot that they've found to get it here. They've got that ward down. They have sort of the waves pushed out. With the Tiny gone, there's a fair bit of damage that VP don't quite have to get those sort of instant burst kills. And as you can see, VP, they'll send an Astral Spirit over, but the rest of the team will not be able to do anything about this as EG claim themselves the Aegis onto Sumail.
After how long of being positioned around there, over 10-12 minutes, is really showing how important it really is for their lineup. They finally get the pickup they're looking for as one gets caught out in that river. 30-minute mark coming around. We have those bounties spawning out.
As Ramses very close to having the BKB complete. 3.8k gold. They'll nearly have it.
This is actually a pretty good moment here for EG2, is they've got their Precision Aura up, they've got level 18 on the Drow Ranger, and this is the 30-minute mark, so beloved, and I said this last year, but yeah, double catapult waves, they do start coming out.
And they've got that Spirit Vessel finished on crit as well, so they have that sustain to sort of keep themselves healed on the back of a push. So then Crypt already building together the army to put the pressure onto this tier 2 tower top.
VP's just having such a tough time dealing with these global silences, because every single time they are trying to take a fight, the globals back up, because they're having trouble just pushing their lanes out and looking for these pickoffs, because the way EG's just constantly forcing the lanes in with the Precision Aura, with the Chen creeps. They just can't find the position for them to take an advantageous fight.
More and more towers being taken. 10k lead now for EG. In a very good position with this Drow Ranger strat at the moment. 30 minutes in, we have seen some pretty hefty turnarounds in game. So VP certainly still not out of this one. They have that combo, they have that high ground sort of defense when it comes to sort of uphill pushes from EG. We'll see how EG are able to overcome it. They're getting close to the Orchid on Sumail, and at that point they will be able to play aggressive. Sort of Sumail zipping straight in, looking for those backline kills to break apart VP one by one before the rest of his team comes in for the push.
Yeah, the hard thing for VP is, maybe the best way they can take the fights is if they're somehow able to scout this silencer with like Roger's Astral Spirit, so they can finally kill him before the global comes out. But Fly's has been sitting in the back, and we do see that win probability all the way up to 75% right now for EG, as they have dominant map control.
Up they go, Sumail, trying to zip toward Pasha. Pasha gets the Moonlight Shadow out, and Linstream Manta style off the Penitence with the leaps. Will be able to keep himself far away. No one actually looks to reinitiate. Jumps in, Arteezy bots the BKB, Fly with the global silence. They look towards Ramses. Ramses has the BKB, still taking quite a lot of damage from the right. Thinks Sumail zips down. He's low on mana. They get the Echo Stomp on him with the Starfall. They'll kill him once. Aegis taken out of the hands of Sumail. The only loss so far in this team fight. Just the Aegis being lost here. No one going down on either side. EG will back up a little bit there. Without that Aegis, they do have that Orchid now out on Sumail, Storm Spirit.
We see the threat though, even at a 10k disadvantage, the amount of damage that VP really can dish out. With that Astral Clearance thrown on somebody, their magic damage gets amplified that much more. And the Necrophos Ramses with that BKB reveal shows that he can survive through the glow of that Lotus Sword.
And no one trying to get in position here. He gets eyes on anyone they do have.
They caught a glimpse
down mid.
They caught a glimpse of RTZ for a second with that Sentry they have in mid.
It's fine. Sure that he sees them, pops the curse down onto Ramses. No one's going to jump in immediately, but the curse comes out from RTZ. They'll look to kite him up. They've got the slow ones, and no one tries to TP out of the right place. It's too much. No one's gone. Sumail do lose Sumail in return. The Reaper side comes down. Sumail will go down. He's dead. Only for 15 seconds, though, as EG still able to take over the fight. Beating down on Solo. Roger's got to split off to the side. S4 still trying to chase down Ramses. Ramses has the BKB. Pops it. Turns towards S4. RTZ comes out of the Shadow Blade. A few right clicks. Can it bring Ramses down?
The arrow!
The arrow. It connects. Pasha. Look for the control. The stop. Coming out from Roger the side. The splitter as well. It's out of the Sumail. In with the Zip. Gets the double kill. Looks towards Roger. Finds the triple kill. At a time where it looked like VP were maybe just about able to set up a turnaround. Sumail comes balling in and secures the 3 kills they needed to keep PG afloat in this team fight.
He did the math, you know, just zipping from almost maximum distance with his mana that he possibly could. 4,600 damage coming in from that.
Sumail on his Storm Spirit, the signature, the classic hero, and now here we have it onto the high ground. EG beating down on the mid set of racks. Sumail 11-1-7 this game, 24-17 lead, 14k advantage for EG. They don't get the racks, at least not yet. They're back in again. Fortification comes out from VP. They will have the full team up to attempt to defend this middle lane. But still the push is there. EG and S4 dropping the blast. VP will hold for now. They'll push back EG.
I was trying to do the math on it too. I think Sumail actually, when he died initially to Ramses Necro, he didn't die to the Reaper side.
He didn't die to the Reaper side.
Yeah, he didn't have the longer cooldown, so that Bloodstone actually made him respawn so quick that he could zip in like that.
I believe only dead for about 15 seconds before he came back in. So absolutely, the Bloodstone purchase, as you said, paying off there. Getting him back on the field quickly to come out with that play. Ramses needed more, but the global comes out. Ramses!
He's dead for 83.
He's not got buyback. Oh, walking up into that high ground like that, Ramses, a big mistake. I feel like they should have known that EG's ward coverage has been very strong around that area. I guess he just expected that they'd all let this area of the map, but EG, they're still pretty much full. They were waiting for that to happen. That's a huge kill to find. No one's going to go in. The 3-man avalanche. Not enough damage to find the kills. There is now RTZ. Pops the BKB. Turns towards no one. No one's gone. He hasn't got buyback even. Into the solo. GG well played is called. And Evil Geniuses take game 1 of this best of 3. And with quite a lead as well. Ever behind in this one. The Drow Strap worked out perfectly as all 3 cores played to perfection. They won all 3 lanes only slightly, but they were able to use that slight advantage to just drive this mid-game all in their favor. They played it cool, they played it collected. We saw them look towards the Roshan multiple times, but they didn't make any sort of rash moves. They could have thrown the game